No.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here and we are live right here on YouTube, man. We got new faces and new places, and it is the thing, man. We got sports to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, right here, ladies and gentlemen, on the Real to Sports podcast. All right, man, we are here, and you thank you guys so much for being here with us on this Tuesday night, wherever on the planet Earth you are right now, man. You know where we are, man. We are on all social media platforms. That is X, Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, and we even have a sports group on Facebook, and it is called the Real to Sports Group. Coming in, you can talk sports, man, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Rep your team, talk some noise, start a debate, start a fight, as long as you mop up the blood.
Hey, and join now because right around the corner is football season. And you know what that means? Fantasy football. We got some
Fantasy
open
football,
slots
get
in
in
the
there and
Real
win some
Sports
money.
Fantasy Football League. So you got to be a member of the Real Sports Group to join. So come on down.
There you go, man. Get a chance to win some of that moolah, like Philly G gonna be defending his crown this year. Philly G. All right, let's get this thing going, man. Well, first things first, I have to introduce the pioneer of the Real to Sports podcast. Yes, sir. This man is over 200 episodes. I still got to get the official count for him. That's gonna be a long day. Lord mercy. But I'm telling you, he is here, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, he is the day one. He is the day one, and he is part of the three-time Super Bowl champion. I'm talking about the Las Vegas Raiders. But it's a Raider thing tonight. He's an Oklahoma State alumni. And ladies and gentlemen, he is the king of predictions, the very talented Mr. Young Mark.
Hey, man, pleasure to be here. I just want to take a quick time to say rest in peace to Mr. Toby Keith, legendary country music singer that passed away last night. I know him from the Bedlam rivalry, the rivalry between the University of Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. Mr. Keith was a diehard Oklahoma Sooner fan. That man bled crimson and cream. He was always at the Bedlam games, whether they were at Oklahoma State in Stillwater or at OU in Norman. And he was also a very big Pittsburgh Steelers fan. So as you can imagine, he and I were on opposing sides of the sports spectrum, but nonetheless, he was a very cool dude, very approachable, very easy to respect, and he will definitely be missed. So I just want to say RIP to a legend, Mr. Keith.
Man, bro, how did I miss that? Toby Keith.
Yeah, man. He even it's funny we were just talking about it. He even tried his hand at the USFL back in the day. He tried out for they had a team in his home state, Oklahoma, and he tried out for their farm system team. He didn't make it, and that's what kind of pushed him to do music. But he tried his hand at semi-pro football.
Well, hey, he chose the right career because boy, he made millions. Holy smokes! Yep. I didn't know that though. That's crazy.
Yep.
You know, it's funny. Then you look at some of these entertainers, and they tried out football. Like nobody would have thought Carl Weathers played for the Raiders.
Yeah.
Like, nobody would have thought that. Like who else?
Or Terry Crews played football.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Vader played football. Like Goldberg. Yeah, Rock.
JBL.
Right. Like The Rock, of course on a collegiate level, but I mean, you think, man, these guys was athletes before they was athletes, or athletes before they was actually entertainers and singers. That's crazy. Toby
Yep.
Keith. Wow. I didn't even know he passed away. It's like you were like no pop-ups or nothing. That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
Oh
He
man.
passed away last night. He was 62 years old, and he
Mm.
was battling stomach cancer since 2022.
Oh man. Jesus, man. And condolences out to his family. Jesus.
For sure.
Oh my goodness. Way to start it off.
Hey, it's
Hey.
not meant to be a sad thing or to bring the mood down. Just wanted to pay respects to him because, like I said, the one thing that I always remember about him was, a how much of a diehard Sooner fan he was. Like, just take Philly G's passion for the Eagles
Oh damn.
and put that with the University of Oklahoma, and that was
Oh
Philly G.
Lord. We all know Philly G and the Eagles.
Yep.
Oh God. That's crazy. Nevertheless, ladies and gentlemen, we are here, and me and Mr. Episode, man, we're gonna talk some football. We're gonna talk a little football, and then we're gonna get on out y'all way because I know it's probably dinner time for everybody right now. Right now. All right, Mark. Let's get into this
Sure.
and let's talk about good old Mr. Will Anderson Jr. Will Anderson, winning the Defensive Rookie of the Year award will cap outstanding rookie year, cap an outstanding rookie year for Texans Will Anderson. He says, I quote, "It was marked big, no pun intended, on my goal sheet. After helping to forge a Texas-sized turnaround, Will Anderson's hoping to knock one more goal off his rookie list. Anderson's a finalist for the Association Press NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. He's hoped to bring home the hardware since the Houston Texans select him third overall in the 2023 NFL Draft. Yeah, I quote, "It was on my goal sheet, 100%." Anderson told NFL.com at Friday's Pro Bowl games practice. It was marked big on my goal sheet, the NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. Just to be in this position is a blessing. Anderson's fellow finalists consist of fellow Pro Bowler Devin Witherspoon of the Seattle Seahawks, Philadelphia Eagles defensive lineman Jalen Carter, Pittsburgh Steelers cornerback Joey Porter Jr., and Los Angeles Rams defensive tackle Kobe Turner. Among his competition, Anderson can boast having helped the Texans to an AFC South title and a wild card win. No one else in the field won a division title or a playoff game. Anderson was a driving force in both team accomplishments, posting 7 sacks, 4th among rookies, 45 tackles, 10 tackles for loss, and 22 quarterback hits, 1st among rookies. Will Anderson Jr., Mark, did you put him down already as Defensive Rookie of the Year, or do you go with Witherspoon, Carter, Porter Jr., or Kobe Turner?
With all due respect to other guys on the list, I think he's virtually a lock to win that award in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Witherspoon put up a fight. I will admit that he definitely put up a fight. I think really, had he have stayed healthy, I think Christian Gonzalez would have been in a good position and maybe challenge him for that award. But yeah, I think it's pretty much a shoe-in. He should win it, and it's well deserved. It's not something that was handed to him due, to be the 3rd overall pick in the NFL draft and get out there and make an impact immediately on the field in the way that he did. He's definitely deserved it. It's nothing short of amazing. I hate to be that guy, but it's a Raiders show tonight. But it reminds me of like 2014 when we went in the draft and got our franchise quarterback in Derek Carr and also got a game changer on defense in Khalil Mack. And we saw the immediate impact that Khalil Mack had on the league his rookie year, and Will Anderson's definitely following in those footsteps in Houston. So the sky's the limit for him. I hope he continues to get better, despite the fact that he's an Alabama player. I got nothing but love and respect for him. He's a real humble dude, just all about football, and you can't help but root for people like that. So I'm really happy for him, and I hope he gets to take home that award on Thursday.
Oh, we do too, man. I'm with you, man. He's a definite lock. I mean, Witherspoon didn't produce anything. Jalen, I would say the second runner up would be Jalen Carter as far as doing something.
Witherspoon made an impact. Might not have been on the stat sheet, but
Yeah,
homeboy was making plays. Like
facts.
teams
I
did
wish
not
we'd
want
have
to throw the
drafted
ball
him,
at him.
bro. I wish we'd have drafted him. Holy smoke! I mean, I love Nate Hobbs. I love Nate Hobbs, them and whatever. But, bro, you man, if we had Tevin Witherspoon and Jack,
don't put. If we didn't have Josh McDumbass as the head coach, our 2023 draft would have been a lot better. But that's neither here nor there.
And Ziegler, man, God dang.
The crazy thing is, I don't even blame Ziegler because rumor has it Ziegler wanted to draft C.J. Stroud, but McDaniels overruled him and thought Jimmy Garoppolo would have been better.
Oh. Another reason why that dude should be exiled, bro. That is crazy. Devin Witherspoon was a beast. Yeah, man, he's a beast, man. He's a ball hawk. He's just gonna get better. Jalen Carter is a monster on the line, of course. Joey Porter Jr. He got the same grit and style like his father.
And that's saying something.
That is saying a lot. That's saying a lot, bro. But Kobe Turner, I'm a little puzzled. I don't really too much know about Kobe Turner.
Yeah, it's easy to get overshadowed. No disrespect to him, but it's easy to get overshadowed and overlooked when you're lining up next to one of the all-time greats in Aaron Donald.
Gotcha.
But when you put on the film and just focus on him, dude's gonna be a problem. Especially if he continues to get to play next to Aaron Donald, because Aaron Donald gets double teamed or in some cases triple teamed. So you can't double everybody with only 5 offensive linemen. So that's going to open up some doors for him to get his and get to the quarterback. So I think for sure he's going to be a problem for years to come. But Will Anderson definitely I think it's the right pick to win Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, Will Anderson. It's a story. It's definitely a story with this because here's a guy coming out of first round with Texas got him third overall in the draft.
CJ second, and then they took Anderson.
Yeah, right after it. So I remember I was like, damn, they went back to back on him when I seen the draft. I'm like, wow. But perfect fit for him. Perfect coach, Mark.
Yeah.
I mean, he ain't got nothing to do with Alabama, but I think it's just the intensity that they both have. D'Amico and Will Anderson, like I don't know, because I think he got his potted hand in that defense a little bit. He got to.
Oh, yeah,
come on. Sure. He had number one defense with San Fran, just like 2 years ago. So perfect fit for him. This dude's gonna be a star. I said it when he was in Alabama. This dude's gonna be a stud. When we played Texas, Texas, he made that key stop, man. I was like, yo, this dude's gonna be a stud.
That was the game to open my eyes to him. I kept hearing his name, and I'm like, I don't know, like because I hadn't seen him play live yet. I saw that Texas game. Texas is an NFL offensive lineman factory.
Oh God, yeah.
And he was just having his way that whole game. He was. So.
Yeah,
that game made me a believer.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm like, I mean, I knew who he was, but I think that game really put him on the map, man. And he had phones ringing, and when he made pro, man, it's just a beautiful thing with Houston. I like that Houston. They just been so bad for so long, even though they beat us in the first round of 2016. But anyway, because we had no quarterback. But anyway,
they beat us since.
Right, you know what I'm saying. But they've been bad for so long, and it's good to see them finally come out of the shadows. I mean, their defense is pretty stout. Not just Will Anderson, but of course with the play of C.J. Stroud, who should be Rookie of the Year. Nico Collins is a beast. Tank Dell is just, man, he gone.
I can't wait for him to come back.
Man, that dude, he about to overshadow. If Tariq Hill leave, he's gonna be the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that dude is electric.
No doubt.
He is electric, bro. But yeah, I like the way the Houston Texans has turned around. That defense is looking good. Will Anderson is a young, like you said, humble, but he is a monster, dude. He is a
Oh
monster.
yeah.
And I really hope that they put a little bit more help in Houston and help, build around him, so they won't wear him out too much in that defense. But oh man, it's great. I hope he get it. Pretty much he's gonna get it. I mean, I think I'm with you. It's a definite lock, man, because like I said, it says already that no one else in that field won a division title or a playoff game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that, I mean, Philly, they went to the playoff, but they ain't win. They got a first round. Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh, first round. Rams first round. Seattle didn't make it. See what I'm saying? So yeah, so it's more a little bit more accomplished. So I hope Will Anderson get it. I like Will Anderson. That's definitely a name we're gonna see for the next 10 years, brother. I'm talking about up there with Max Crosby and TJ Watt, those heavy hitters like that. We're definitely gonna see Will Anderson up there. Definitely.
It's crazy. Like the one thing about the Houston Texans, man, they always had the best of luck drafting a defensive end or an outside linebacker.
All the time.
I mean, you go back to
Clowney,
Mario Williams, Clowney, JJ Watt,
right?
Now Will Anderson.
Mario Williams was a beast, yo.
Yeah, man.
Woo! Mario Williams.
I'm still shocked he went. I'm still shocked. I know it's years later, and I know Mario Williams was a dog. I'm still low key shocked he went over Vince Young and Reggie Bush in that draft. He played longer than both of them in the NFL. I'll give him that.
Yeah, he did. I can't believe I didn't know nobody gonna be over Vince Young because Vince Young was just like when he won that Rose Bowl. Yeah, he was hot. He won that Rose Bowl, bro. That really set him off on the map. Reggie Bush, of course, he had that controversy behind him, but man, Vince Young God, man, he went to Tennessee and bombed. But
I blame the coach.
I blame the coach too.
Quite literally, I will forever blame Coach Fisher for that.
Oh hell yeah!
Because you seen what Coach Fisher did with Jared Goff, and then when Coach Fisher left, Jared Goff went to the Super Bowl. Come on,
now. Right. I know people are gonna say, "Well, he hurt Steve McNair." Steve McNair and Vince Young. It's like McNair.
You can't really compare. One was a multi-time MVP.
Thank you. That's what I'm talking about. So you can't really go apples to oranges on that one. Hell no. I have to definitely say that McNair was better, but I agree with the coaching. Vince Young was just something special. Did he go to the Eagles?
Yeah, he was on the Dream Team with Nandi Osawon.
They do jack squat.
No, but that's what the Eagles do. So
that was Chip Kelly. Was that Chip Kelly when he?
No. Chip Kelly had Michael Vick and Nick Foles. No, this was like the later years of Andy Reid.
Oh, Andy Reid.
This was when did Nandi leave us? Nandi left us.
Nandi left us. 06, 07?
This was shortly after Nandi left us. Because it was him, Nandi, and D-Jax. They'd all like grouped together in Philly. Philly G was
not 06, 07. Nandi left in 08, I believe. He was there because Russell was there there 9 and 10, Jamarcus. 8 or 9, something like that. He was there then because I know he was there with Jason Campbell. Jesus Christ.
Oh, what could have been, host? What could have been?
Man, boy, oh my God.
Oh, what could have been?
Terrible.
That was 2011.
2011.
That was Vince Young, Nandi Osawon, and
Vince Young was something special, man.
And dang, why is his name slipping my mind right now? I can see his face clear as day. Sweet Jesus,
for the Eagles?
Right, he just played for us. Deshaun Jackson. Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, Deshaun. I thought you was going Nelson. Nelson was there.
Nelson
Aguilar.
Nah, not 9/11. I don't think.
9/11? Or was
No,
it was
that
still
was
Avant? Avant?
the 2011 team had like LaShawn McCoy, Vince Young, um, LaShawn McCoy, Vince Young, Nandi Asamoah, Jeremy Macklin,
Jerry
Jason
Macklin.
Peters.
Yeah, Jerry Macklin. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Vince Young and Michael Vick in the quarterback
Yeah.
room.
Vince
You got
Young.
Shady at running back.
Shady running back. Yeah.
Brandon Graham was on that team.
Yeah. Still is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no doubt.
You had Weapon X back there for a little bit. Damn. Damn, Philly. Philly.
They had Dominique Rodgers Cromartie, Asante Samuel.
Ooh. That
They was
secondary was on the chain.
ain't do a
Hit
dang
us.
thing though.
They ain't do nothing.
They had
Nothing,
Riley
man.
Cooper on the team back then.
Oh, whatever. Whatever. Riley Cool. Black and a black and a black. Well, good. Hope where Anderson do his thing, man. You know,
Oh yeah.
rumble, young man, rumble, young man, rumble. All right, Mark. Something that you, ladies and gentlemen, strap it. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, strap in your seatbelts. Strap in your seatbelts carefully. Young Mark is about to rant. He is about to rant. Over now. All right, next subject here, man. We going the Commanders, the Washington Commanders, hiring Cliff Kingsbury and Joe Witt Jr. as both coordinators, offensive and defensive. The Commanders have locked down the two coordinators. Former Arizona Cardinals head coach Cliff Kingsbury has agreed to terms with the Washington Commanders to become the team's next offensive coordinator. Shortly afterwards, Steve Reich reported that Commanders are hiring the Dallas Cowboys secondary coach and defensive passing game coordinator Joe Witt Jr. as defensive coordinator. Witt Jr. serves as a familiar face to head coach Dan Quinn to begin his turnaround efforts in Washington as the two worked together in Dallas for the past 3 years, each time producing a top 5 defense in points allowed. Interesting. Their abilities will be much needed for a Washington unit that ranked last, Mark. Did you hear that? That's how bad it was. I didn't know they was that bad. Their abilities will be much needed for a Washington unit that ranked last in the NFL in both points and yards allowed in 2023. Oh my God. Kingsbury, who went 28-37-1 with Arizona from 2019 to 2022, was expected to join the Raiders as their offensive coordinator earlier this week, but he backed out of the position after contract negotiations fell apart, according to Schrager. He is instead set to make his NFL return back into the NFC. Kingsbury spent the past year with USC as an offensive analyst and quarterbacks coach, working with USC quarterback Caleb Williams. Mark, I'm gonna let you go ahead and do your thing.
This isn't going to be so much of a rant. Is this so specifically speaking on the Kingsbury hire? There's so many different avenues that this could go down. I'm going to start with one being I really wonder what the magic number was for him to choose Washington over us. Like where was the disconnect as far as like compensation and whatnot goes to where like he was with us for a minute and then backed out. I'm really curious to see what Washington is going to pay him, and I'm really asking myself why didn't we
I looked into that.
pay him?
Yeah.
Because say what you want about his head coaching record. One thing you can't deny, Cliff Kingsbury knows his way around an offense.
That's very true.
He was an excellent quarterback, Texas Tech. He's part of the reason why we're familiar with the name Michael Crabtree. He coached.
I'm looking at Pat Mahomes, Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, he coached those guys when they were in college.
College.
Pat, there's a reason why both of those guys went high in the first round of the draft. He was
Mm-hmm.
even the offensive coordinator at Texas A&M
Mm-hmm.
the year that Johnny Manziel won the Heisman Trophy, and that's actually what propelled him to become the head coach at Texas Tech. So no matter which way you slice it, the dude knows his way around the offensive side of the football. And in my humble opinion, being an offensive coordinator is the perfect position for him. You
Mm-hmm.
don't have to deal with the stress and everything that comes with being a head coach. You can just focus on your specialty and what you like to do best.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a great hire for Washington.
It is.
But the questions that come about from it for me is number one, what does this mean for Eric Bieniemy? They said
Facts.
that he's not going to be on the staff anymore. So
Yeah.
who's going to pick him up? I wish the Raiders would have instead of getting Coach Getsy, but I'm gonna let the chips fall where they may with
I
that
think we
and
moved
see
too
see what
fast.
happens. I do too. Um, but I'm really curious to see if Coach Bieniemy gets another job somewhere. Maybe if he goes back to the team to get barbecue, if he goes to the UFL or something like that. Like, I'm really curious to see
Ooh.
what happens with him.
Ooh.
But the real interesting part about
Okay.
all of this, host,
Mm-hmm.
is I've been following Caleb Williams since the very beginning of his collegiate career,
Mm-hmm.
and he was a very hyped prospect coming out of high school.
Oklahoma,
He
right?
he started at the University of Oklahoma.
Gotcha.
Do you
Okay.
know where he went to high school at? Do you know where he's a native of, host?
DC.
Yes, he's
I
a
ain't even put that
Washington
together.
D.C. native, and he went to high school in Washington D.C. The Commanders currently have the second overall pick in the draft, and with the rumors that I've been hearing lately, the Bears are going to stick with Justin Fields, as I feel like they should.
Mm-hmm.
They could use that number one overall pick to get Marvin Harrison Jr. to pair with
Mm-hmm.
DJ Moore and
Mm-hmm.
give Justin some weapons. So
Mm-hmm.
that opens up the number two
Mm-hmm.
opportunity for Washington. They don't even have to trade up to get the hometown kid and Caleb Williams,
Wow.
who's coming off of a Heisman Trophy not too long ago,
2 years ago.
reuniting him with his quarterback coach from college in Cliff
Wow.
Kingsbury for
Wow.
his hometown team. So
Mm-hmm.
if you're a Washington fan, that's a dream scenario because A, you get your franchise quarterback.
Right.
Two, he's a hometown kid. So as you like to say, host, he's going to put butts in the seats.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
True.
three, you're setting him up to have a lot of success early. Because when you
Yeah.
look at that Washington team, they're loaded at running back. They got
Right.
some really great wide receivers, really good tight ends. All
Mm.
they need is a few tune-ups on the offensive line, and that's a pretty good offense for a young quarterback to kind of walk into.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's well before the draft and nobody's been selected yet. I get that, but I feel like host, and I'm saying this now in February. If Caleb Williams goes to Washington, he has the potential to do for Washington what C.J. Stroud did for Houston this past season.
Damn.
And for all my family who's up in D.C. who are longtime Washington fans, I got to be honest with you, this is probably going to be the best scenario they've had since RG3's rookie season in 2012.
Mm.
This could be pretty big, hiring Coach Kingsbury, and I hope they don't mess it up. I got faith in the new ownership that they're going to do right by this and do this the right way. But yeah, host, focusing on the offensive side of the ball, man, it's a lot of different rabbit holes, but Washington seems to be setting themselves up to have some immediate success come next football season.
Jesus Christ! I forgot. I didn't put two and two together. He is from DC. And I didn't even think about that. But wow.
He went to high school in DC. He lost. The crazy thing is he was still a highly touted prospect, but he
Mm.
didn't get to play his senior year of high school because of the pandemic.
Mm.
So he goes to the University of Oklahoma,
Mm-hmm.
and the OU fans have seen the tape on him. They knew what
Mm-hmm.
they had sitting on the bench. I kid you not. They were literally chanting for this man to get into the game
Mm.
during a game they had against West Virginia. The University of Oklahoma and their fans chanting for a guy that looks like me and host to get into the game. That
Wow.
tells you about this dude's talent.
And he is very talented. When you throw 43 touchdowns in a season and on a collegiate level, that's pretty insane.
Yeah.
God, man. But you said something about with Cliff Kingsbury. He didn't sign with us because Telesco didn't. he wanted 3, but we only offered him 2. And what he wanted a lot of control. He wanted a lot of control with the offense, and the Raiders wasn't having it. He wanted a lot of control. So
Define a lot of control.
meaning control of choosing quarterbacks, and well, basically choosing quarterbacks and more hands on in the offense. More. How can I say it? I know it was more something to do with the quarterback for sure. I know it was something to do with the quarterback.
I don't know if I have a problem with that because you just gave Josh McDumbash that same power.
Exactly. So that's why I say I think we the Raider. I think we kind of jump ahead of ourselves a little bit. I think we should have gave the guy 3 years. But another part is,
Oh yeah, you definitely want to give him at least 3 years because if anything, you're about to bring in a young quarterback, so you want his contract to kind of match the young quarterbacks. You know,
yeah, you got head coaches that signing 6 years. Like, yeah, of course, 3 years, easy, no problem. But another part of why Gatsby's in our coach now is because of Devontae. Because he got ties with great. He was Aaron Rodgers' quarterback coach. And Devontae wanted him, Mark. Look it up. Devontae wanted him. That's why we got him.
Yeah, but Kingsbury's offense is a pass.
I 100% agree with you. But he wanted Gatsby.
I'm the reason why I'm not willing to write Coach Getsy off immediately.
Me neither.
Is because what did he really have to work with in Chicago?
Exactly.
He had Justin Fields, but outside of Justin Fields, what else did you really have? You had really no protection, no tight ends. Running back was all right, but weren't really too much there.
So we just talked about this with Musgrave and Olsen. The fans were saying the same thing. Oh, we got him, but it turned out to be good. So I mean, but with Kingsbury, I would rather take him because look at the relationships. He had Patrick Mahomes, Baker Mayfield. He did Kyler Murray, and with what's the name?
Johnny Manziel.
Johnny Manziel. Like this dude got pros. He molded them.
To put it like this, ladies and gentlemen, because I know not everybody watches the college game. Nick Saban is highly regarded as one of the greatest defensive-minded coaches to ever coach football, pro or college. Easy. Cliff Kingsbury in that game in 2012 against Alabama dissected and carved Nick Saban's defense up.
He did.
I ain't trying to throw shade at my Alabama fans, but the proof is in the pudding. Johnny Manziel was a highly good quarterback that year.
Rich Homie.
Coach Kingsbury. What up, man?
Rich Homie. What's up, Rich Homie?
But
Rich Homie. That's a fact, Mark. That's a fact. And with this US, well, I mean, I know. All right, so with Caleb, they say, Kingsbury was this and Kingsbury, and he was, but I mean, come on, man. We know Lincoln Riley was a major part of it too.
Yeah. And then to come from a Lincoln Riley offensive scheme on top of what you already have as an offensive play caller.
Word.
The sky is the limit as far as like how creative he really could have gotten with our team.
Yeah.
I think it's a missed opportunity. Just my humble opinion.
Major, man. I think we missed the boat on that.
I gotta trust Coach Pearson. I gotta trust my GM. So
at this point, that's what I'm saying. The same thing, bro. Like we as Raider fans, we just and we're not making this a Raider thing, y'all. But we as Raider fans, we just gotta wait on it like everybody else and just wait on the draft. The draft is really is such a big. That is besides the Super Bowl. That is the second biggest week. That draft is going to be insane.
Because the majority of the team, it's the one-time year where everybody has hope.
Oh God, yeah.
Things can turn around for your franchise.
Yeah.
And it's
like everybody can get talent.
If you're the type of fan that likes, drafts with a lot of trades and a lot of quarterback drama, I think this is going to be the draft for you this year.
I agree.
It's a lot of quarterback needy teams, a lot of high-level quarterback talent. But I can't even lie to you, host. I love my family up there in D.C. I'm actually rooting for him to finally get this right.
Mm.
Um, I hope the chips fall in their favor to where they can get Caleb that second overall pick and just build around him with what they already have. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, man, when the Cliff Kingsbury offense with scary Terry McLaurin,
I was
Jahan
just looking at
Dotson,
that. I was just looking
Logan
at that.
Thomas, Brian Robinson Jr., and Caleb Williams.
Yeah,
Hey, good luck to the NFC East trying to
that's what
stop
I
that.
said. They got two rockets, bro.
Yeah,
Jahan Dotson, that dude, man. Psst, psst, psst. And then you got McLaurin, man, a great route runner. Pow, 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 pow,
a
pow,
dog,
pow.
a
Gone.
dog. But
Gone.
at the same time, the host, do you think they're gonna give up on Sam Howell that quick? Because homeboy
No,
showed
sir.
flashes last year.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I put him in the back. Jacoby third. You got to look. You got a decent second. You got a wait a minute. You got a strong backup and a decent third. If
Yeah,
Washington, because you just never know. But if anything, I say let Sam start it off. If they get Caleb, let Sam start it off. Don't put Caleb in there right then and there. No, 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 no. You don't want
normally
to
I
rush
would
that
say that
process.
if it was a situation like Carolina, I would say that.
Mm.
But again, host, like look at how much talent Washington has on offense. It's
But
not
a
like
guy
you're
like
throwing that man out there raw.
yeah, but a guy like Caleb, he's going to be franchised. So you might want to build him. Yeah, you better build him the best way you can. Like let him see a couple games and let him see how it is. Maybe give him a preseason snaps or two, but don't put him in right then and there. Don't do that. No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't put him in there right then and there. No, sir. He need to be with a headset and clipboard for a few
I
games.
disagree with you. If you're talking about Malik Willis, I'll take that all day. But hey, but you laugh, but I'm
He
being so
said
serious.
Malik, bro.
He
Damn.
he played in a Lincoln Riley offense for 3 years.
Yeah.
If anybody coming out of the draft, I feel like it's pro ready, especially after being in that kind of offense, it would be him. Because that offense ain't no like press triangle, circle, or squared on Madden. Like no, you got to know your stuff to be able to run that offense efficiently.
But
And he
look at the
ran it
division.
all the way to a Heisman.
Look at his division.
The Eagles' defense was trash last year.
It's,
Dallas
you
Dallas
know,
just lost their defensive coordinator and their secondaries coach. Plus, their best player on defense is coming off of a major knee injury. Plus, Micah Parsons really didn't do much this year. Teams seem to have figured him out. The
true.
Giants are rebuilding on defense. So, who in that division is really going to be there trying to, you know,
As
really put a
bad
hurt on him?
as bad as you broke that down, as bad as and that's all true. But them guys still show up because why? It's a division game, and these four guys,
Like Q
these
Dog
four
would say.
teams hate each other, bro. They hate each other. Cowboys hate Giants. Giants hate Cowboys. Eagles hate Cowboys. The world hates the Cowboys. But what I'm saying is, those guys hate each other. So bad, and you're right. I agree with you. Those, I mean, them numbers don't lie, man. I mean, but they tend to show up when they need to be. And 11 from heaven is what Skip called him. He tends to show up when it's needed. They got
Did he
Diggs coming
show up in
back.
that San Francisco game though?
No, he did not. He couldn't. He couldn't. Great scheme by Kyle Shanahan. Great play calling. But you know, I can see the rest. I mean, the Commanders actually coming out of that basement in that division.
I don't see why not.
They
Especially
have to.
if they get Caleb and like I said, pair him in that Kingsbury offense with
Oh
the
yeah.
weapons that they already have, maybe a couple pieces of free agency. I'm being like so serious when I say like he could do for them what CJ Stroud did for Houston.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
to me, it's an incredibly similar situation.
Chemistry is the best thing possible when it comes down between a quarterback and a coach.
Exactly.
Chemistry. Them two right there, like Cliff, man, look at his resume. Caleb Williams, Patrick Mahomes, Watrick Mahomes, yeah, Baker Mayfield, Johnny Manziel, a little bit of Kyler Murray, but come
When
on, man.
Kingsbury was say what you want about Kyler Murray, but hear me
No,
out.
I'm talking about molding, making him like
No,
he
hear me
was
out.
good all
Hear
the
me
way.
out.
Uh-huh.
Every year that Kingsbury was the coach and he had a full year with Kyler Murray, Kyler got better and better each year. The worst season that Kingsbury had was when Kyler got hurt.
But they only won the playoffs one time.
I get that. I mean, they had holes all over the field, and in my opinion, they had one of the worst GMs in football at the time.
Oh, what are you
But
talking?
respectfully, Kyler Murray on offense, it's the reason why he got that big contract. When he was with Coach Kingsbury, every year that he was there, homeboy kept getting better and better. From his rookie year to second year to his third year,
They
it was
finished
just
12
nothing
and
but
4.
improvement.
Yes, yeah. That was the playoff when they went 12. Remember, they started off 12 and 0.
Yeah, and they collapsed, but again, I still stand by the fact that looking exclusively at quarterback play, with the quarterbacks that he's worked with, all of them got really, really good playing under him.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
So whether it's Sam Howell or hopefully Caleb Williams, I think Washington's going to be in good hands with
I think
him
so,
calling
man.
the plays.
Speaking of with Sam Howell, I think he's going to help Sam Howell. Let me tell you something. He's not that bad. He's not trash bad, but you can work with a guy like that. He's still a baby, well, rookie. You can still mold
He
him.
showed a lot of potential,
That's it.
and I think if
they
Washington
won 5 games,
decide,
they won 5 games. No, 7 to 5. How many games they won?
with him, hold on.
I think the Redskins won 7. I mean, the Commanders. I think they won 5 or 7. One of them.
We have to get a swear jar for every time you say that.
Oh yeah, I know, right?
He's 5-13 as a starter.
So that's where they went. They went 5-13, right? Okay. So and that's not bad for a rookie quarterback. I know CJ won division, but
Well,
that's CJ way
do you
better.
do you take it with a slight grain of salt in the sense that, well, what I believe wasn't one of the games he first started in like late last season when he beat Dallas. So does that count?
Yeah, it count.
Because in his first full year as a starter, he only won 4 games.
Yeah, hell yeah, it count. Yeah.
Okay.
It count. Oh yeah, put it down. Put that down. Oh yeah. Yeah, the dude, he can get molded too in Cliff's class. Uncle Cliff. Uncle Cliff. I mean, why not, man? I mean, I like the Washington. I like Washington. I like the way they did that, man. But here's my question to you, Mark. Do you think that they hired Cliff Kingsbury just because Caleb only? I mean, come on now, because it's kind of crazy. Okay.
I'm gonna say no. And the only reason why I say no,
I mean, to lure Caleb more to.
You can lure a player all you want, but in the case of Caleb, if they were really trying to like lure him or guarantee that he was going to come to them, they would have made a trade with Chicago to get the number 1 pick.
They can't get it though.
To guarantee, if they sprung a trade with Chicago to guarantee themselves that number 1 pick, then I would say like, okay, now it's obvious you're bringing in a Cliff to court Caleb. But again, we still technically don't know what Chicago is going to do. Chicago might still go out and draft Caleb number 1. And then if they do, now what are you going to do? You know what I mean? But
if they do that, Mark, you talking about from 1 to 10, it's gonna be a tornado, dude. That alone right there, that's Chicago Bears run that draft. They ran it last year, they run it this year. They're gonna determine who gets who because they can go they can go Harrison or they can go Caleb, like you just said.
If you want chaos in the draft, you're rooting for Chicago to take Caleb, because then what that's going to do is it's going to cause the fire sale where you're going to have everybody and their mama trying to trade up.
Yes, sir.
They need a quarterback.
They need a quarterback.
That's where you're going to see like Drake May go, Michael Penix, my man that won the Heisman. All those guys are going to be up for grabs. You're going to see a bunch of teams trying to make moves. But me personally,
the phone's going to be ringing off the hook.
Right. But where I say it's a bad deal, if you're Chicago, again, name one time in Chicago's history where they were able to draft and develop a franchise quarterback.
Never.
You really can't. They had success with Jim McMahon, but how long did he last in Chicago?
And he was beat
Not
up.
long.
And
They just took Justin Fields. They just took Mitch Trubisky before that. They had
Jay,
Jay Cutler, who was
Jay
developed
Cutler
in
was the best
Denver,
one they had.
but he was developed in Denver. He was already a seasoned pro by the time he got to Chicago.
Very true.
They had Kyle Orton, but they couldn't get anything out of him. That's why they
My
traded him.
favorite quarterback. I love Kyle Orton.
So if you're if you're the Bears organization, man, you're literally one of the oldest teams in professional football. I don't think you want to stay on that quarterback carousel much longer versus
Yeah.
constant turnover at the most important position in the game. So that's why, like, if I'm Chicago, for both my short term future and my long term future and stability, I'm gonna stick with Justin and try to build around him.
Heck yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
At least
With
worst
Justin,
case
man.
scenario, if
Yeah.
Justin turns out not to be the guy, you
Yeah.
at least got a ready-made team for a veteran or for another young quarterback.
Absolutely. Then you can bring in a quarterback. Easy.
But
Easy.
if they draft Caleb and have to start all the way over again, it's just gonna be 4 more years of the same.
And they can afford that in that division, not why the upbringing of Jordan Love, Jared
Jared
Goff,
Goff,
the Minnesota Vikings. You just can't you can't afford to go down. Not with those three teams are going up. Look
no,
at Green Bay. Green Bay, they beat the brakes off Dallas. Look at them. They on the move. Detroit
yeah,
on the move. Minnesota, once Kirk Cousins come back. Because when Kirk Cousins was there, they was on the move. So when Kirk Cousins come back, they're gonna probably pick up where they left off at. Like I agree with you, Mark. That the Bears should keep Fields, make a system around on him, give Marvin Harrison Jr. A primary target, DJ Moore's a dog, and run it from there.
yeah.
You can't go back. Not in that division. Just no. Mm-mm. I think you hit the nail on the head, brother.
That's when you're really gonna get left in the dust.
Oh yeah.
So,
You're gonna be gone. You're gonna be gone. Then you'll be fighting for wild cards.
but I mean, again, but if you're a fan of chaos and you're a fan of craziness at the quarterback position in the draft, this is the year for you. Because I'm telling you, if Chicago takes Caleb #1, boy, 3, 2, 1, let it rip.
3, 2, 1, let it go. But I am impressed with this Washington move, man. And it's funny that things are changing now. The owners up.
And may he rest in peace. And I'm not trying to speak over him. May he rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
If Caleb falls to Washington and they have success, this is what Dwayne Haskins could have been for that team had things have been ran correctly. Because remember, Dwayne was a hometown kid. He was super talented coming out of college. He was a Heisman finalist. But because of the dysfunction of the organization, and in part to his own immaturity at the time, it didn't work out.
Yeah.
But Washington,
if he had Cliff Kingsbury, bro, I'm telling you,
with the offensive line and the weapons that are there now, he would have been a problem.
He'd have been a problem. Dwayne Haskins is the truth, bro. It's a lot of quarterbacks that are like that, but they just haven't had that developing coach.
It's and I get trash for saying this, but I'll say it till the day that I die. I've been watching football for almost 30 years, so I've only seen 2 dudes in my entire lifetime as a football fan who have had the ability, both talent-wise and leadership-wise, to be able to walk into an incredibly toxic and dysfunctional franchise and turn it around. 2. Out of all the quarterbacks that come and go in the NFL every year, I've only seen 2 guys be able to successfully do that. It's better to have your house in order when you're bringing in a young quarterback than to be a dysfunctional franchise with constant turnover, no talent on the roster. Because, no shade and no disrespect, you're going to look like the Carolina Panthers looked this past year. Like, no direction, nothing for your young quarterback to work with. Think about the early days of the Houston Texans with David Carr, how they kind of ruined him because he had no talent, no direction on the team. Just you don't want that dysfunction when you bring in a young guy.
I agree. You're so right. You on tonight. You're so right with that. You don't want that. No, 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 no. You definitely don't want that. I totally agree with that. Wow. Yeah, you don't want no dysfunction whatsoever.
Mm-mm. Derek
Mm-mm.
Carr and Baker Mayfield don't come around every day.
No, they don't. And like I said, man, people need to really put some respect on Baker Mayfield, man. The dude balled out this year, man. I ain't gonna sit here and jump on him. And, I'm gonna tell you right now, the dude balled out this year.
We need to go back to our preseason predictions last year and run that tape back. Everybody that laughed at me for saying that about Baker, bro.
Hey,
I need my receipts, yo.
yeah, I feel you on that one, bro. I need my receipt when I say Cleveland gonna be a sleeper team. Look at him. Look at him. But Baker Mayfield balled out, bro. They got to put some respect on his name, man. I mean, they won a division. They went to the playoffs. They beat Philly.
Say Todd Bowles' job.
Word. They beat Philly. The NFC champs. And you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, the dude balled out. They should pay him. Well, I think they already is. I think they already paid him. But yeah, I mean, it's good for him, man. Good for Tampa. It's good for the city of Tampa. They got a quarterback. And it's good for him because he get to do Baker Mayfield 2.0.
Yeah.
This is his second shot. So I mean, I'm with it. I'm with it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna pay some bills real quick, man. So our quick sponsor, we're gonna come back with the last little bit, man. We're gonna talk about good old. We're gonna stay in Washington. We're gonna stay up in the DMV for a minute though. But hang on for 1 minute, man. As we play the sponsors here right here on the Real Sports Podcast. Our sponsors tonight, man. Fantasy Sports Evo, Amazon Music, SeatGeek, Fanatics, Sports Line, and we got a bunch of them. All those links, ladies and gentlemen, are in the description box below. Go there, check them out, especially Fanatics, man. I know it's gonna be draft time. I know you're gonna be getting your with Washington, get Caleb win. Everybody gonna be rocking the Caleb win. You feel me? So just, I mean, go to Fanatics, man. Get your latest hats, jerseys, socks, or whatever, man. It is all. I think the discount now is 20% off. 20% off now. So go to Fanatics. Use the link below in the description box. If you're a gambler, Fantasy Sports Evo, Sports Line. If you want Amazon Music, 1 month free. Sign up and get 1 month free. Everything on me. 1 month free, man, on Amazon Music, man. So y'all go ahead and check that out. And also, man, we have a new sponsor. But I'll get to that later. All right, man. Me and Mr. Episode right here, man. We are here. We are live, man. We just talked about Will Anderson, possibly and probably unanimous defensive player of the year, rookie of the year. I'm sorry. And we talked about Cliff Kingsbury being the and Joe Witt Jr., the offensive and defensive coordinators for the Washington Commanders. Now, we're going to go to the head of the table.
You're going to roam the rings?
There you go. I'll wait on it. We're going to go to the head of the table of the Washington Commanders, Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn on his second chance as head coach. He said this in that quote, "You can't turn back the clock, but you do have to learn the lesson." Over 3 years in the making, Dan Quinn is getting another shot at leading an NFL squad, and he doesn't intend to waste this opportunity. Speaking to the media for the first time since Washington Commanders announced him as their new head coach, Quinn reflected on his coaching history and his determination to take what he learned and used it in his second chance. Just quote spoiler alert. We get a little WWE-ish. Head of the table. Not spoiler alert, really. You'll hear me often say, be where your feet are. And actually, I try not to say it. I try to live it, and I'm pretty good at it too. With one exception, over the past few years, there's 5 words that have probably tested my feet and my head. If I get another shot, Quinn said, as a coach, you prepare for it, you study for it, and there's some lessons that you can study for. There's lessons that you just have to live, and sometimes through success, and sometimes also through adversity. But once you learn those lessons, all you want to do is grab them and run and prove it. So let me tell you, I am ready to run and prove it. Run like hell. I'm a little older, maybe a little more chrome, and hopefully a little bit wiser. But I'm also incredibly grateful for all that has led to my feet being here. Let me say this. Quinn previously was the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, 2015 to 2020, leading the Falcons to the Super Bowl his second year. But though he led them back to the playoffs the next year, things subsequently went downhill, and his tenure ended after an 0-5 start to the sixth season in 2020. All right, Mark. Dan Quinn, second time around now, this time with Washington. So Washington has their head coach, they have their offensive coordinator, they have their defensive coordinator. So they have the three. They have the big three now. So now, again, we just waiting on the draft. But Dan Quinn, what do you think? Dan Quinn, no longer Dallas Cowboys defensive coordinator, he served for what, 3 years there. Head coach for the Falcons for 5 years, led them to the Super Bowl. Matt Ryan, quote unquote, stole Derek Carr MVP, but that's a whole nother story. But Dan Quinn, head coach, Washington Commanders, what you think?
Washington is the big winner
Yeah,
tonight. If there was ever a champion of the offseason, Washington is
absolutely.
definitely doing it with the moves that they made. I was kind of curious at first, like why they would go from a defensive minded head coach to another defensive minded head coach.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're looking at it with the staff that he's put together, it's a win-win for Washington. Not only do you get a great head coach who can speak to his players, who can motivate them and bring the best out of them when they're on the field, but also in a sense you're getting to hurt your rival at the same time because you just took away the best coach on their staff in a lot of people's opinion,
True.
as well as who probably would have been his successor in Dallas and the new defensive coordinator in Washington. So if you're a Washington fan, you always love to stick it to the Cowboys. So this is one great way to do it while also improving your own team and getting better. Um, Not trying to make excuses with Coach Quinn, but I give him a lot of grace for that Super Bowl with Atlanta. In my opinion, I think Kyle Shanahan can take more of the heat for that game than him. Because
Yes,
when you got to lead that big, you got to run the ball instead of keep trying to pass it.
absolutely.
Um, and then also,
I agree.
another thing that kind of plagued him when he was in Atlanta, dude was great at drafting. Just his players just could not stay healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Seemed like every time they got a real stud in the first round, homeboy was hurt. A couple weeks into the season with some type of lengthy injury. The best abilities availability. So I give him some grace for his time in Atlanta. I think he did a good job. Otherwise, he did a really great job with Dallas's defense and
He
how
did.
pedestrian they had been prior to him getting there. So
Very, very true.
um, things are looking up in Washington, man. It really is a new day
It
up there.
is.
New ownership, new coaching staff. Potentially might have a new quarterback. So if you're a Washington fan, man, you definitely got a lot to be excited about. And I really do hope he can help improve that defense because it's amazing. We talked about it many times. They've had so many first round picks, especially on that defensive line, and didn't really get much production out of them. So I'm curious to see if Coach Quinn can unlock something out of that defense because you need a defense to have any kind of success in the National Football League. So that being his bread and butter and his calling card, it works out good for Washington because Coach Quinn can focus on the defense, especially with his new defensive coordinator already previously working with them. They can get that defense right and then allow Coach Kingsbury to focus almost entirely on the offense and developing their young quarterback. So Washington definitely they were the last ones to hire a head coach, but I definitely feel like they might have made the best decision after us, of course.
I think so, but the only thing I'm pretty sure Dan Quinn is probably kicking himself in the head or probably whatever. But you lost two of your best pass rushers. I'm talking about Chase Young and Montez Sweat.
Sweat, I'll give you. Chase Young, I've said it before, man, and I hate to say this about a young man early in his career. Homeboy approaching that dreaded B word, man. Because outside
Absolutely.
of his rookie season, man, just it ain't been there. Like
Mm-mm.
just either he's been hurt or he's been
Yep.
hella quiet.
Hurt. You been hurt.
I just don't see it no more.
I don't see it either. But
It's the
now,
reason why Washington got rid of him.
yeah, exactly, because of the hurt. They definitely need him that year they played Tampa
Yeah,
in the playoffs. God, that's when he was talking that blah blah blah. But why would you do that against Brady? I mean, I get it, but
he
I
was
don't
young.
get it.
He didn't know.
Yeah, exactly. I get it, but I don't get it. But here it is, Mark. Dan Quinn had the Cowboys number 5 ranked defense last year. Washington last. Do you think he can elevate them to at least because he got his confidant with him? Even though me and you both know that Dan Quinn gonna be 95% running that play, running those plays on the defense, right? So do you think that Washington can go from last to at least top 20? Now I'm not saying they're gonna make a super huge hurdle back up to where Dallas was. No, I'm not saying that. But can they at least get 20 from 32 to 20?
I don't see why not. And the reason I say that is a Dan Quinn's been in the division for years, so he knows the other three teams very well and what they do
Yeah,
on the offensive side of the
yeah,
ball.
yeah.
Number two, like I mentioned, he can draft defensive talent really well. Like some of the draft picks that he made in Atlanta, I think really outside of Vic Beasley might have been the only like question mark that he had.
Big
He's
Beasley.
really good at drafting dudes on the defensive side of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So you let him bring in some new talent, um, and let him coach them up. I don't see why not, because that's just what he does, man. Atlanta always had a good defense when he was around, when the dudes were healthy. We saw what he did with Dallas, even if you want to discount Micah Parsons a little bit. But yeah, I think he can turn it around, no doubt.
Okay. And if you were the Dallas Cowboys, are the Washington Commanders a team now? Should they fear Washington now? Should they fear them?
I don't know if fear is a word that I would use, but you definitely have to like respect them and have your guard up when they come see you. Because again, Coach Quinn was in that room with them for years, so he knows those offensive players. He knows what they do best. He'll know how to cook up a defense to shut them down. And again, if you're Dallas, I mean, coming off of another disappointing playoff exit, your head coach is on the last year of his contract. You don't have like an offensive play caller outside of Coach McCarthy. You just lost your defensive coordinator, and you lost his heir apparent as well. And we ain't even gonna get in the fact that a bunch of your key players on both sides of the ball are free agents coming up. So I'll be real with you, man. Dallas is prime for the taking right now. Like, if you're Philly or if you're Washington or the Giants, if they can get their quarterback situation straightened out, this is the year I feel like Dallas is vulnerable and can be had. Because, like we said, when they got bounced by Green Bay, man, I think they're lining up for a rebuild, and that's honestly what I feel like they need. Just my humble opinion. But yeah,
Teams
Dallas
teams
definitely should be on notice.
teams at the bottom is starting to come up though, Mark. I think it started with Seattle. Seattle was bad for a little bit. Now they had came up. Cleveland was bad. Look at them, they came up. After Baker, they sucked. So they but now they're back in the mix now. Look at Detroit, won the division this year. Look at Tampa. after Brady, thank goodness Baker kept the ship floating, no pun intended. And now I think it's time. Look at no, let me go to AFC. Jacksonville, trash for years.
And they still kind of trash.
But it but they won 3 games, and all of a sudden, bam! The next year, here come Peterson and win the division. Right? Okay. You look at Houston Texans, trash, division champs. I'm not saying that Washington's gonna win the division, nothing like that, but I think it's time. It might be time for Washington to come up. Look at the Jets. They've done it before. Look at the Jets. They went and got Aaron Rodgers. Like these low teams
all 4 plays.
Yeah, that's true. But what I'm saying is these teams is starting, these low ranked teams. I ain't gonna say sorry, but low ranked teams, they're starting to come up. So now the NFL, you kind of like, even when we do the predictions, it's kind of like,
I mean, when you're me, predicting games is easy.
Sire.
If it wouldn't have been for Matt freaking Prater, I would have gone undefeated.
Right. But NFL is getting loaded, man, with stars, man, and they're definitely coming up. But it might be Washington's time.
They did it in 2012.
They did.
In 2011, they were dead last. No, that was RG3.
RG3. I'm sorry. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So 2011, they had Rex Grossman and they were trash. They finished last in their division. 2012, a rookie RG3 comes in and they win the division. So,
you remember when they had Heath Schuler?
That was before my time.
Oh God. Gus Farrar.
My dad. You know how Q-Dog gets a little aggravated when you mention Leslie Frazier to him?
Oh yeah.
That's my dad. When you mention Heath Schuler, my dad is a diehard Washington fan, and you mention that name around him, bro. He gonna look at you like
Heath Schuler.
He couldn't stand that dude.
Trash, bro. Gus Farrar.
You gonna get my dad mad mentioning that, bro.
The quarterbacks Washington had. Oh God, just god awful. Speaking of Leslie, he's assistant head coach now in Seattle. But wow, man, it's good to see Washington. Hopefully, they get Caleb. Caleb will probably be the best thing since RG3. The excitement, people was going nuts when RG3 came.
I remember like it was yesterday, man.
Oh yeah, man. I was ecstatic. I was like, yeah, man.
White literally hosts. Mm-hmm. I keep saying it. Washington is built to where if they can get Caleb in the draft, man, they can have immediate success. Like they are literally primed to have some success if they can get him. So, I mean, hell, it wasn't that long ago, Alex Smith and Taylor Heineke were good enough to get this team to the playoffs. So,
yeah,
I mean, you put a supreme talent like Caleb back there, again, with all the weapons that they had, they could really make some noise in the NFC East and definitely, I feel like, get out of the basement, no doubt.
Kid can throw the ball too, man.
Oh, yeah.
Drew to the game.
What's up, man?
What's up, Drew to the game? Drew. Yeah, dude, the kid can throw, man. Step back.
Yeah.
Well, I got a cannon on him, man. Got heart too. It was good to see. Wall Street made fun of him, but it was good to see him, emotional against that because he wanted that game. He gave it his all, man. I mean, when you got to be on the court or on the field in order to actually experience that. Because when you give it your all, man, it's just like.
If you are a fan in the NFL and you have like some doubts about Caleb and you're not sold on him, in my humble opinion, and I'm not just saying this because I have invested interest in the game, pop on the film of Bedlam his freshman year at the University of Oklahoma. Pop on the tape from that year and watch that game and see just what you could be getting if you draft that man. When I quite literally tell you that man gave his heart, soul, and everything he absolutely had to try to win that game. They fell short to the big brother of the state of Oklahoma, but that man gave it every single thing that he had. Like, you could see how exhausted he was after that game because I really can't praise him enough for that performance. So if you're doubting Caleb Williams, go back and look at his Bedlam game with the University of Oklahoma against Oklahoma State.
Yeah, it's like I said, man. The guy got passion, bro, and like I said, Wall Street want making fun of him because he was crying, man. But I mean, you want players like that, bro.
Yeah,
Everybody made
he
fun
made
of
fun of
Derek.
Derek Carr.
Yeah, exactly. But it wasn't because, God, man, people are
He
so
was
ignorant
miserable.
sometimes. And that too, man. But the guy, he wears Raider on. He got Raider in his heart. He loved the team. He's the leader of the team. Like he just it's just emotional. Like it's okay. It's okay to be emotional, man. Like
Yeah.
damn, but it don't make you less than a man. But man,
Oh
people
no.
were just killing them, man. Like, oh, you a baby, you a crybaby, you just blah 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 blah. I'm like, man, y'all cut it out, bro.
Haters.
Haters like a mother, man. Like y'all cut it out, bro. I mean, the man can be emotional when you give it your all in a game and you come up
Especially like
short,
those
man.
players do.
It's
Yeah.
heartbroken, man. It's just like being with a woman or a man. You give it all your relationship, and all of a sudden it's over. It's heartbroken.
So do you
God
give
damn.
Cam Newton a pass for how he acted at his Super Bowl press conference?
No.
He says all that just to say he's not giving Cam Newton a
Nah,
pass.
bro. Even man, pick the ball up. Oh, I should say, man, pick the ball up.
It wanted the
Scary,
script.
son.
It wanted the script, host.
Oh yeah. What did I see that at? Was that in the group? Somebody posted that in
Yeah.
the group? Was that
Yeah,
you?
Q Dog did. No, that was Q
Q.
Dog.
Q. Oh, okay. I said, oh man, it went in the script. Oh, shots fired. I got it. I was like, God dang. It makes sense though.
Yeah, it wanted the script for Peyton Manning to lose his last game.
Yeah, it's in the script. Let Peyton win. Don't touch the ball. Don't touch the ball. Good Lord, man. Football. Come on, April.
Gotta love it.
Come on, April, bro.
April. Come on, March. They got the UFL coming back in March.
Oh yeah. That too. But April for sure.
Yeah.
April for sure, man. I got to have April. Oh yeah, I mean that's the draft, bro. I been sitting at the edge of my seat, boy. You know, we number 13? We 13 pick?
We get a draft for franchise quarterback.
Oh, okay, you gotta go through Goodell bullcrap for 12 times. Oh God, man.
The real question is, are you gonna stay up for the first round? That's my question.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I gotta drive 1 hour over. You
and late nights don't know what's next.
It showed up like tonight, like tonight, but that right now I might just be drinking Red Bull, like throwing down Red Bulls, bro. I got to have that night. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our show for the day, man. You know, we all thank you for watching another episode of Sports to Talk About, man. If you guys don't mind giving us poor folks right here, man, give us a thumbs up. And if you think this is a show that you can watch each and every week, bringing the smoke. Well, this is the podcast to be. Look no further than the Real Sports Podcast and hit that subscribe button. Turn on that bell for all notifications. Before we get out of here, man, I got to hear for the King. The King got something for you.
Hey, man, come on back. We got a great show planned for you guys on Saturday. We're not only going to get ready for the Super Bowl, but we're also going to preview the upcoming 2024 inaugural season of the United Football League. You know your boy On the Mark is going to break it down for you, show you all the key matchups happening throughout the season, including a very special game that's going to have the host's attention. So you might want to come back Saturday to find out what game that is.
Chris.
But we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and come on back. We got more great sports content on the way for you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, I heard what he said, man.
Don't spoil it, host.
I'm trying not to, boy. All right, y'all heard what the pioneer said, the king of prediction. You heard what he said, man. We got the talk show, man. We got the talk show this Saturday, man. We're gonna talk about the latest news on what's going on in the NFL and the UFL as well, man. And might even go to the NBA. It depends. You just never know when it comes down to Real Sports Podcast. And we'll be back to get in and also, man, you guys get in the live chat. Get in the live chat. Say what you need to say. Speak your opinions. Whatever, man. This one podcast that really cares about the audience. So whatever you guys put out, man, hey, just because you're not on the show, don't mean you ain't in the show. You're very important. So we want to hear from you guys as well, man. So we're gonna get on out of here. We will be Saturday at 3:30. Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Man, the Real Sports Talk Show will start, and it will be me and Mr. Episode bringing it to you live, like we always do right here on YouTube. You know the saying, man. Everybody believe in your team always, but most importantly, believe in yourself. You can do anything and everything, and I really do mean that. And everybody around the world, man, be safe. And when you're safe, stay safe. Me and Mr. Episode, Real Sports Podcast, we out.